When it comes to nearly everything, experts do not agree, and money is no exception. You will hear some experts say that the way to get money is to follow your passion, and you will hear some experts say the exact opposite. They will tell you to not follow your passion if what you want is money. But what if both of them were right? And what if, by knowing this, you could make a better financial decision for yourself? In today's episode, we are going to unpack the truth about following your passion and money. When we say following your passion, in the context of this conversation, what we mean is dedicating yourself to what you have a great interest and pleasure in, as your way of making money in this world. How can it be true that it is both true and not true that following your passion leads to financial abundance? To understand this, let's look at the truths that exist in both camps. First, starting with following your passion is critical if what you want is financial abundance. 1. Passion gives you intrinsic motive. Intrinsic motive is essentially the desire to do something because the activity itself is inherently pleasurable and interesting to you, as opposed to doing something because by doing it, you get some kind of external reward or avoid some kind of negative consequence. The power of intrinsic motive can never and should never be underestimated. Intrinsic motive is like a powerful internal engine with a battery that charges itself by engaging in the very thing that you are doing. It's obvious how that would give you an advantage when it comes to success. Intrinsic motive creates far greater commitment and engagement in what you're doing, it improves performance, and it makes you far more resilient to challenges and problems. When it comes to getting what you want, this includes things like achieving a goal or gaining financial abundance. The reality is that people will face challenges. When these challenges happen and you are not passionate about what you are doing, it becomes really hard to stay the course. 2, if you do what you are passionate about, you are in a state of greater alignment. Why? If you are doing something with your time and energy that you don't find pleasure or interest in, then part of you is going, yes, do this, and part of you is going, meh. Basically, it's not really on board. This means rather than being in alignment, you have this internal opposition going on. This is both going to cause you pain and means that less of your energy is going in the same direction, making it harder to achieve success. Also, passion is an indication that you are in alignment with critical non-physical elements of your existence. Things like your non-physical self and your pre-birth intention. When you are out of alignment with your non-physical aspect, it is a very big deal because the energy from non-physical cannot flow through you the same way. Nor are you walking the path of your life purpose, nor will you find yourself in the flow of synchronicity where people, places, circumstances, and things come into your life experience in alignment with what you are wanting. It is to be out of alignment with universal abundance in general. All of this will make life feel very off and very hard, kind of like you were going against the current. This is the element of truth that most people who teach people about the law of attraction are primarily concerned about when it comes to money. 3, passion makes people master what they are doing, and it drives you to be the best you can be and to, let's say, drive what you are doing to be the best it can be. When you are passionate about something, you invest more of yourself into it. This means that you put more time and energy into it, you seek out new knowledge, and you acquire more skills related to it. You increase your expertise in it. You strive naturally for excellence, which improves the quality of whatever it is that you do. On top of this, it makes you much more creative. When you're passionate about something, what happens is you tend to explore that thing from every single angle. You consider new ideas and strategies that are likely to take you to where you're wanting to go. And also, you tend to take more risks in the name of mastery. All of this can lend itself to more financial abundance. 4, passion gives you more energy. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but when you're passionate about something, you have far, and I mean far, more energy with which to do something. More energy lends itself to greater productivity. 5, your passion is infectious. You don't exist in a silo. On the path to making money, you will be working with people. Others are part of the picture of your financial success, whether they be clients or coworkers or employees or independent contractors. Institutions that lend money, even people in your private life that in some way have to support you making money. And the more passionate you are, the more that passion will leak out and inspire them. Also, the more it will line you up with other likewise passionate people. You are not the only one that works better when you are in a kind of state of passion about what it is you do. Everyone does. So your passion lends to other people who are part of the picture of your financial success doing better at their contribution. Passion is a key element of getting people behind what you are doing. Think about it though. Aren't you far more likely to think that there's value in something that someone else is passionate about? 6, people find meaning in what they are passionate about. People need what they are doing in their lives to have meaning. When you believe that what you're doing has meaning, you believe that what you are doing is important and that it has value. You're more likely to really go the extra mile for it and be in alignment with the exchange of money for its value. It's been proven again and again that when employees find meaning in their work, they put in much more effort, they come up with more creative ideas, they generate far more revenue for the companies that they work for, and they stay with the companies that they work for. That means less turnover. The world is full of people who are deeply passionate about what they do to make money and credit their passion directly as being the reason they became so financially successful. Like the guy who was so passionate about technology and software development that he poured himself into his craft and co-founded a company that revolutionized computer tech and became the richest man in the world for 18 years in a row. But wait, now we got to look at the truths that exist on the opposite side of the scale. Following your passion is a bad idea when it comes to money, and it doesn't lead to financial abundance. Ready for this? 1, passion is not the same as talent or skill. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're good at it. And just because you put effort into getting good at something doesn't automatically mean that you can compete in a marketplace against other people who are really, really good at it. 2, marketability is an important part of the picture of financial abundance, and passion doesn't make marketability not matter. Marketability is really about whether there is a market for whatever it is that you are doing. To monetize something effectively, there must be a market for it. Just because you are passionate doesn't automatically mean that what you are doing or what you created is seen as valuable or attractive to other people. A market needs to exist for whatever you are offering, and you need to make whatever you are passionate about marketable in order to make money with it. 3, the skills to have a successful career at what you are passionate about must go beyond just what you're passionate about. If you want to make money, there has to be a strategy for how to make that money. You can't approach it like, do what I love doing, and the money will come. You need not just a strategy, but also skills. When a person turns a passion into a profession, they usually need to develop skills that are not directly related to the passion itself. These other skills need to be acquired, learned, and put to the task. And some of these, a person will feel absolutely no passion about. For example, say that you are super passionate about music. You may even be an excellent musician. But let's say that a necessary set of skills to have in order to become profitable as a musician is entrepreneurial business skills like marketing and, let's say, digital acumen so that you can develop an online following. And you may absolutely hate doing these things. Nonetheless, your option is to pair up with someone who will do these things instead of you, or for you to do them. Otherwise, you are performing on the street while shoppers pass you by, occasionally dropping coins your way. 4, passion is self-focused rather than other-focused, and this is not a good recipe for making money. People are more likely to pay for your talent than your passion. Passion can come as the result of being really good at something and the positive kickbacks of being really good at it too, so don't think that your choice is really an either-or. But money does tend to follow what you're good at, far more than it follows what you're passionate about. People are likely to find that more valuable to them. And at the same time, the market doesn't necessarily reward talent. People don't really care if you feel good doing your job. They care about their own needs and wants. So if you want to make money, then it's all about answering to needs and desires. But something that's really important to understand, and this is difficult for people who are creatives, is that just because you're gifted or talented doesn't mean that you are entitled to financial abundance. It doesn't mean that the universe, world, or people owe you money for it. 5, in some situations, turning your passion into what you do to make money makes you lose your passion for it. When you turn what you're passionate about into the way that you make money, there is suddenly pressure to perform and to make money with it, and stress is introduced to the picture. These extrinsic motives, and even more than that, extrinsic pressures, can diminish the intrinsic pleasure you find in it and make you quit. It loses its magic. On top of this, it is really important to figure out the ways in which you want to use your passions and talents in the world. Just because you love dance, for example, doesn't mean that you're going to love teaching a dance class full of 20 children every day of the week. And just because you would love dancing for a dance company doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to earn a really good living doing that. 6, financial abundance is not just this abstract concept of money flowing in from the universe. It's about the smart and effective management of money too. Plenty of people make a ton of money and lose it just as fast because they lack financial knowledge and financial skills. You may not have much passion for this, but not knowing how to handle money does not add up to financial abundance. 7, evolving passions can introduce a certain complexity into the picture of abundance. What we are interested in and what we feel pleasure in doing doesn't always stay the same. The same is true of people in the market. That means your customers. By turning your passion into your career, you might put all of your eggs into one basket only for the market to shift, leaving you high and dry financially, and job flexibility is much harder to exercise if you are doing what you are passionate about. Or let's say that you might go all in on what you're passionate about, only to become more passionate about something else later and decide to switch over to that and have to start all over again from scratch with that new thing. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with making this choice, just like there's nothing wrong with choosing to play your instrument on a street. But it does present serious financial challenges. 8, the overall picture of your vibration relative to money and financial abundance in general is very, very complex. It's not only influenced by whether you do what you're passionate about or not. It's influenced by your attitude towards money itself. It's influenced by your relationship to whatever it is that you want. It's influenced by beliefs that you hold, most of which are subconscious, by the way. It's influenced by what you have learned about money, and it's influenced by traumas. And these attitudes and traumas that you hold dictate your decisions and behaviors, many of which are oppositional to money without you even realizing it. Here's the opposite truth. The world is full of people who are passionate, but whose passion has not led to financial success at all. Like the guy who has always had a passion for marine biology, especially for krill. In fact, he's dedicated the last 10 years of his life to studying Antarctic krill. But he relies entirely on grants and scholarships from universities and government agencies, and he can barely make enough to eat well. Right now, the world doesn't really care about krill. He certainly isn't rich just because he followed his passion. Because if passion guaranteed financial success, he'd be rich as hell by now. Especially after the film The Secret came out and people started following many teachers who were teaching specifically about the law of attraction. People started believing that following your passion literally guarantees financial abundance. The problem is that people were fed a superbly simplistic, you could say kindergarten level version of how the universe works, especially of how vibration works, when the reality is, it really isn't so simplistic at all. On top of this, what passion drives, first and foremost, is success. But what is success? It's the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. That aim or purpose is not necessarily money. When people talk about success, they almost always mean wealth, but wealth is simply one potential aim or purpose that a person might have. One person might consider happiness success. Another might consider knowing the most on a subject success. Another might consider a certain level of fame success. Another person might consider a successful relationship, meaning a relationship that feels good, success. Arguably, all of these things could happen without money being part of the picture. The steps you take on the road to success change when the aim or purpose changes. The same is true if what you want is financial abundance. If your aim and purpose is to do what you are passionate about, essentially to do what you find pleasure and interest in, you may be doing far different things than what you will do if what your aim is to make the most money, even if you are able to make good money through what it is that you're doing. And what you're doing is something you're passionate about. So what's the takeaway from all this? Passion is a critical driver for success. It is a key factor of bringing about success, and success might include money. It does not make sense to spend your time and energy and efforts doing something with your life that you have no interest in and can find no pleasure in doing. Aside from a perfectly miserable life, this is a recipe for all kinds of things that oppose financial success. And consciousness, guys. And at the very same time, passion does not guarantee money. Just because you've followed your passion doesn't mean that the universe is going to just start throwing money in your lap. You've got to consider lots of other things, such as your talent, marketability, finding the customer, defining what makes you stand out in the market, and necessary skill sets to monetize whatever it is that you're looking to offer people. So if you want to make money doing something that you are passionate about, you are looking for where passion meets what you are good at. your talent. You're looking at how to best leverage that sweet spot so as to bring value to other people, value that they will pay for. In other words, you need to monetize it. You've got to find your market and then effectively market what you are offering. And in this whole picture, you've got to manage the money effectively. And you can't forget that when it comes to making money, providing value for the customer is more important to the customer than you doing what you love. Have a good week.